Now, 4 years after Mohammed Sanusi II was dethroned as the Emir of Kano, Governor Abba Yusuf on Thursday reinstated him to the throne. This reinstatement occurred immediately after Governor Yusuf signed the Kano State Emirate Council Repeal Bill 2024 into law. The new legislation replaces the 2019 Kano State Emirate Council law and dissolves the Emirate Councils established by former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. On a quick turn of events, a federal high court sitting in Kano has granted an ex parte order stopping Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano from reinstating Emir Sanusi II pending determination of a substantive suit filed against the reinstatement. Late on Thursday, the court directed all parties involved to maintain status quo pending the determination of the suit filed by Sarkin Dawaki Baba and Aminu Babadan Agundi. We're joined this morning by multimedia journalist, who of course is going to be joining us to share his thoughts with us on these stories. And of course, the latest story concerning the reinstatement, Mr. Olokoba. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Marvin.
I mean, first of all, many have described this as politics that played out when he was, dethroned at first by Abdullahi Ganduje. What are your thoughts on how things have played out, since that time till now? And of course, what initially led to his dethronement as the Emir of Kano?
Thank you. We should look at the matter in specifics and in general. The attitude we have towards that institution is not fair. And if we continue like this, we will become a country with no identity. These are the custodians of our identity and of our culture. The father of Sanusi was also dethroned. And when he resisted that banishment, it's a good thing. Banishment is a custody, protective custody. For the decision we have taken in the office, maybe some may want to come after you when you left. But we thought it that if I am not the king, I should be able to work freely. And those are the new things that the institution must embrace. But because British came and shut them out of governance, and that is the reason why today we seem not to understand who we are, because that's the custodian. We are just 64 people, 64-year-old people. If a role has been created for the institution, we understand each other better. Of course, there were wars when we're not together, but we have a platform where you sort out issues, but you show them out and see the way you are relating with them. There will be a confusion in Kano because the people there who might want to follow issues presented to them by the former governor and by the new governor will have a confusion, and that is reflecting on the statement of the northern leaders who said that it's creating more crisis for them. So for us as a people, we have to tell the political class to stay out of that institution. It's not important to us than to be toying with that. And that's why you see our children don't seem to understand who we are. They say foreign culture and say that they don't behave like that. We are supposed to tell them, this is Africa. We don't behave like that too in Africa. That's our culture. It is an inheritance for black people to take care of their parents, and it's working. Chinese is studying the model now of African model, where you see it as a responsibility to take care of the junior ones, your father and your mother. So Kano is important for the elders in Kano to wade into it, because it has a capacity of dividing the city into fragments. When that city was divided into 5 by Ganduje, I knew it was going to create more problem for him. The Emirates don't operate the way modern.
Was that strongly politically motivated? Do you think that there were issues between Ganduje and Emir Sanusi?
Yes, Sanusi is playing a role we expect other kings and obas and emirs to be playing. Oni of Ife is doing something similar. We need someone from the east and someone from Ijola. I spoke about a regional mechanism of sorting out issues. And they have that kind of prominence. Oba of Lagos should be able to tell Tinubu then a few things which he listened to. He told personally a few things which is very beneficial to him. The same thing about they are now Sanwo-Olu. So they have a permanent gaze on their city, on their people, and they know their peculiarity, they know the weakness, they know the strength of that. So when they say something is an institution, Contrary to the belief that a ceremonial queen of England, there's no ceremonial. There is no prime minister that does not enjoy the endorsement of the king, or as the case may be, or as in Britain. But because the constitution is unwritten, you won't understand, you won't read it anywhere. He has an important role to play. In fact, he's one of the most important human beings in the world, if not the most important. He requires visa to travel to no part of the world. That's where they kept their own institution. And you come here and say that Abba should not have issue on. People understand who you are, who understand your parents, the great-grandparents. Where is history in our schools today? So they have custody of it, of some of these things, the way you do, where we are to issue. So we need to ask the political class to stay clear of certain things. In fact, that institution should be independent. The more we put hand into it, the more there's a confusion of who we are. We kill Deborah. All of us kill Deborah because we not the girl that was killed in Kano.
I know, yeah.
She didn't understand the country she's living in. She said, no, don't talk about religion. You don't want me to know a lie I should not cross when I'm talking to you. I should know. There should be religion in a public issue or engagement so that you will know where to stop and where you can condone me that, okay. But there are things as Christian that you may not want to. So, when you get to Kano, there are traditions that you must understand. There are things you must know. It's been eroded now. In Kano, in Port Harcourt, in River, in Ilorin, in Oyo, in Ife, it's been eroded. And it's because you did not allow this system to play their role. So, for political class who turned this thing into another tool of winning voting, we must stop them early enough. Ganduje did something very, 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 very wrong by depending his hand into it. Yeah. This other guy too, I hope is going to obey all righteousness in returning Sanusi. I want Sanusi back. If they ask me, I don't know, but I want him back. I want him to start playing the role he's been playing. His understanding about our economy. His understanding about Nigerian issues. We want him. We want people who are also knowledgeable, who are there to do similar things. And that's why, when you see anybody disrespecting that institution, Nigeria will rise.
Yeah.
You know what we did to Obasanjo?
Yeah. All right.
We want to mobilize to Ibadan, to Abeokuta, and to be assertive that, in fact, I was part of the people who wrote, who had a press conference that all the titles belonging to Obasanjo should be taken back from him. And he should never be called a chief in Yoruba land if you want to go and get in Yoruba land anyway. So that's to tell you the importance of that institution. So going forward now, I don't know whether the governor will go ahead with what he wants to do.
I mean, there's a court case, asking that they maintain status quo.
So the law will have to understand whether such marchers can be restrained based on court. Maybe the governor has that power to set aside the court. I don't know. The law must speak to that. But it is very, very, very important to bring the barricade around this institution. It's important for us. In another 100 years, we will end up becoming a country without identity. There is no country in the world that can prosper with a borrow culture. The only people that attempt are the black people. We are the people trying to do that. We are the ones who want to lose our identity. People don't lose identity. You are not supposed to lose your identity. That's who you are. And this is the institution that can put you on that path, no matter democracy you practice. Chinese says that 2,000 years of fear of this culture, we can't throw it away. We will do democracy. It's not election every 4 years. That's not democracy. It's peculiar to the West. India shares something like that. It's only the African people that are saying that throw away your institutions because they want to have an identity again.
But I want you to, because in the interest of time, Governor Abba Yusuf, and his decision to reinstate him. What do you think that more may have prompted that decision?
Well, if it is the process that led to his dethronement is inappropriate, it's appropriate for the governor to bring him back. But I know very well that knowing what the political class are, there's a political interest in it. But in the interest of the political class, you must also look at our interest as people too. And the interest of the people is that Sanusi, to me, if he's cheated, this is the time for it to be redressed. And you can see what is happening in Kano now, which is very, very unlikely. They could have been uprising by now.
Yeah.
But there's a confusion in their mind because the people love Sanusi in Kano. And the guy that left maybe has done something to also impress people. So it's divided now. That's not good for us. There are things that political should not be playing politics with. One of it is that institution. So the governor should proceed with what he wants to do, giving respect to court order, They go to court on sorry type but if I have the right to still go, it should still go on. But he needs to follow the so that someone after him will not also come back to do similar thing. So Makinde in Ibadan is trying to reverse what the former governor has also done. Because the way the society is coined in such a way that the grip of that institution on the entire city is good for us. It's not a governance where smaller sectors performs better than what we have today, where the president is on and on. That's why we have in this challenge. But divide the country to a smaller sector for governance is good. But institution is not like that. Particularly when you
traditional institutions.
Yeah, but particularly when you have similar language, similar lifestyle, similar values. So presiding over that kind of kingdom is an aberration if you begin to divide, if you are dividing local government. It's not proper and it's not correct. And that's why their role should be assigned outside what we are. That's why I call for restructuring. Those are part of the issues that will be addressed. And that's why in Jonathan's conference, it was recommended that we should be assigned. That's something to get to that. They should be assigned a role. It's not. It should remove their exercise. A local government officer chairman who can remove Sanusi and any emir or king in Nigeria now. They should reassign a rule, create a rule for them, so that Africa will come back to that threshold where they say that one of the richest culture in the world is the culture of Africa was gradually.
I mean, in the next couple of days, we would see how these things turn out. Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, from CBN governor to where he is today. Of course, started as a banker, became CBN governor. I remember that there was some controversy even in Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's government, with him, and then eventually became Emir of Kano, was deposed, now brought back. There's just so much. But we'll see how things turn out with this new court case, asking that they maintain status quo. Abba Yusuf, Abdullahi Ganduje, too many details. Thanks for stopping by and for sharing your thoughts with us on this important topic. Here we wrap up of conversations for this week. We'll be back here again next week for Breakfast Central. Remember that Breakfast Extra comes up tomorrow with Judith and Mazino. So we wish you guys a very, very beautiful weekend. See you on Monday. I am Osalgie Ogbawa.